Hi, this is the Alchemist Astrologer, and this is the February Inside Out reading for Libra Sun, Libra Rising, and Libra Moon. So Libra, the first thing we're going to look at would be your conscious desires. Those are the desires that are driving the action, or so you're telling yourself. This is what is your known intention. It's what you're openly telling yourself, what you're sharing with other people about why you're doing what you're doing. So you have the Fool, intuition, and action. So something new has entered your life. You're embarking on some kind of new chapter, whether or not you had planned on it. Now, this may tie to travel, new experiences, an important decision that you have to make. It could be a child. Whatever it is, it could be that something has occurred that is unexpected, and it could be unsettling because you're not prepared for it. It could be a change that's occurred within your domestic sphere. It could be your career, but you're setting off into new territory that you may not have experience for, and you may not have all of the information, so you're having to take a leap of faith, and you're having to use your common sense about something before you step out there and make a foolish mistake. There's some risk involved with this situation that's going to take you in a new direction, but your intuition is prodding you to move forward. This could be to introduce yourself, make new acquaintances, network, start a new relationship, a new interest, but your intuition is telling you that it's time to take some kind of action. Now, you may have an intuition about someone else and what their commitment level is. Maybe somebody is too self-interested, or they're into their own thing to even take some action, and you have a feeling about that. But your conscious desire is to move in a new direction by taking action based on what your intuition tells you, whether you should move forward, whether a relationship should continue or not. Now, your unconscious desires are those that obviously you're not aware of because they live beneath the surface. And perhaps they're based on old memories, painful experiences, repressed emotions, and still they're exerting some influence over your behavior. And you may not even be aware of it. You may not realize what's really driving your action, because very often these desires can be, not always, but they can be at odds with your conscious desire. And they can really be the real motivation behind your actions, in spite of what you think they are and what you're openly projecting. So your unconscious desires would be death, family, empowerment. So you need something to either end or begin. You want to repair, clarify, improve, rejuvenate a circumstance, because you don't want to be in any situations that are confining, uncertain, stagnant, not moving. And perhaps you're trying to gain some kind of empowerment for your family or against your family. But family is very important. They may be wielding a strong influence over circumstance, and you may wish that to end, or vice versa. It could be that this is something, perhaps you've lost something. Now, it could be something tied to a will or an inheritance. It could be the release of a large sum of money. It could be you're undergoing some kind of intense situation that ties to psychological issues or sexual issues, or perhaps a family member needs surgery. There's something that has occurred where something had to end so that something new could begin, and you're seeking to gain some kind of empowerment through that situation. Now, you may not be consciously aware that that's what you're trying to do, but there's something that, again, for some of you, this is a strong tie to a Scorpio person. So something about your family, you want to gain empowerment in a situation that ties to their influence, whether that is perhaps family wealth, or stressful, crisis-oriented situations within the family that you're actively trying to gain power over. So you're telling yourself that you want to move in a new direction. You want to take some action based on some intuition. And what's really behind it all is this regeneration of yourself or situation, because there's a very strong will to survive within the circumstance. So you're going to have to reinvent yourself on some level so that you can cope emotionally, psychologically, financially, or whatever it takes to get to the other side of something. But in spite of your desires, or, in addition to those desires, what is it that you actually need from a circumstance? You have the Judgment, past life, and magic. So for some of you, there's a judgment call to be made, a call to action, which you've already received through your intuition. You're having to make a judgment about whether you've been following the right decision, if you've made the right choice. And it likely ties to the past. Someone from your past, some unfinished business, an ex, something tied to the past has been revealed. You've taken a closer look at a situation. And you're making a judgment call about, is this something that should be revived? Or should this be put to rest? Am I making the right decision? And you may be judging other people with regard to a circumstance, or you may be under scrutiny. So a judgment call is being made, a second chance with regard to something that ties to some unfinished business. Now, the positive influence, this would be the circumstances, the people, the emotions, the conditions that are actually helping and contributing to a positive outcome. You have the Two of Wands. So this review that you're doing, maybe you're reviewing your finances, maybe you're reviewing the opportunity to travel or expanding in some way, whether you want to join forces with someone. But there is an opportunity where you are momentarily pausing to consider. You may have the world in your hands, and yet you realize that you could go bigger, do better, have more. There's something more out there, and you may be in search of that. So this is a time for you to really act on your desires, act on your instincts, what your gut is telling you, what your intuition is informing you, because there's something on offer. And you can either take advantage of it or step back from it. And either way, you have the other party's blessings. Now, it could just simply be you need to prove a point or prove yourself or clear your name in some way, receive some vindication with regard to something. Or it could be a job offer. But again, you're thinking of joining forces. Now, this is a time that says you have to make sure that you're not acting on assumption, that you gather all of the information before you make that important judgment about taking some action. Trust your intuition. Because if you start to create some turmoil without having all of the facts, then you're going to get an ego check, a reality wake-up call. So this is about trusting yourself, not doubting, having confidence. Because if you are making a judgment about something where some profound change needs to take place, you're going to have your wits about you. Because if you exhibit any kind of doubt or vulnerability, somebody's going to be there to exploit it. So you're doing a review. It could be of a new love. Now, this may be an actual person. A new relationship is on the horizon. You're about to meet somebody. You're going to meet a potential partner. Or it could be a new love interest. Some passion you have for something, a topic, a subject, a pursuit of some sort. So there's a review of new love. And once again, you have intuition guiding you. You could be getting some spirit messages. You're listening to your intuition. You're reviewing something and whether you should take action to move in a new direction. But you may have to let go of something in order to move forward. Now, the negative influence, what's holding you back? The obstacles, the challenges, the habits, something is limiting. And that would be the Justice card and marriage. So there could be a decision Now, you may be trying to decide whether you want to be married or whether you want to get a divorce. You could be trying to restore order to your marriage, or perhaps a partnership or a commitment of some type. It may not be an actual marriage. It could be a business partnership, but something that is legally binding. So you're having to make a decision to restore order. Again, for some of you, this is going to tie to that unfinished business. You may be settling some debts, or there may be, you're working out an exchange. What is equitable? What is fair? Because there's a strong desire to seek justice in a situation. And for some of you, there could be, a strong, well, this is your card. So you have some lessons regarding justice, what's fair. It could be, dividing your time between commitments, maybe choosing between two commitments or choosing between two partners, choosing work versus personal life, making decisions that, set the scales right within a situation. So this is a negative influence where you have to be careful of operating through a prejudice, a biased, or preconceived idea. Because remember, you're entering some new territory where you may not have the experience to make the decision. And you may be questioning the past and trying to gain power by reinventing yourself. So you're going to have to be very conscious of whether there are equal exchanges within your relationships with others. And you also have shadow. So there are some fears or some illusions that you're dealing with that tie to commitment. It could be, somebody's making a decision to stalk. Maybe you're being stalked or you're stalking someone. And when I say stalk, I mean social media. It could be that you're dealing with some manipulative or shadow behavior where somebody is behaving less than noble. And that's the reason why you're having to try to seek justice or restore order to a situation. So that's the negative influence that may be blocking you. And it may tie to large sums of money or the impact on family and decisions to be made about the past. Now, what's at the heart of the situation? This would be the conditions, the actions, the attitude, or the emotion that's at the very root, the very center of your circumstance. You have the Empress card. So for some of you, this is about your success, your health, your well-being. It may tie to the role of mother. Your role as a mother, an important relationship that you have. It could tie to your sense of femininity, your desire and willingness to help others. There could be, a decision about having a child, giving birth to something, whether it's an actual child or a project. So the heart of the situation is you're waiting for something that requires some attention, some nourishment in order to grow. You're having to practically apply yourself to achieve some kind of results. This is also about smoothing a situation over. And when the Empress shows up, it gives you the ability to smooth over those rough edges, to improve your connection, or if need be, make some better ones. Again, as long as you're putting in effort. Now, the Empress negatively could be, some self-indulgence on your part or that of others, waiting for something to come without actually trying to go out there and get it. It could be going too far, going to extremes, some kind of extravagance where the pleasure principle becomes everything. Now that may mean you're eating too much, drinking too much, spending too much, partying too much, or it could mean you're going the opposite extreme. You're very tight, or you're exercising too much, you're not giving in to any kind of pleasure. So this, again, is another message of striking a balance with regard to something. And so you also have children. So there could be some mother-child issues. Again, something new. Maybe you're connecting with someone from your childhood, or you're having discussions that center on children or the past or growing something, the initial stages, some new pursuit or project. And you're having to have patience. Now, for some of you, maybe you're waiting for your child, you're waiting to give birth, or you're waiting to connect, or you're waiting to start a new project. So patience is called for, and that's at the root of a situation. What is the call to action, though? You have honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So you're using your intuition with regard to making a decision. Could be travel, could be a child, could be a new pursuit. And it ties to the past. Something has been revealed to you. You've taken a closer look and you're making a judgment call about whether you should continue on the path that you are, because you want to gain some empowerment. Now, that may mean by having a child. Maybe you got pregnant on your honeymoon. Maybe you are, getting married and going on a honeymoon. You're reinventing yourself. You're deciding whether you want to join forces. There's a new love. The new love could be a child, or again, a project or an interest. Maybe it ties to foreigners or something overseas, maybe on the internet or a vacation. Maybe you're going to meet someone on a vacation. So you could be in the honeymoon phase of a relationship where you're just getting to know them. You're trying to experience something. It could be a novel experience. Maybe this is somebody different than you've dated before. Maybe someone younger, or again, you want to be free-spirited. You want to step out there. You don't really want to be committed. You just want to have fun. So this says enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. You're focused on taking a trip, either literally, or maybe this is a trip of the mind, and humor helps. So in some cases, maybe you're connecting to someone maybe foreign or different in some way, where you have to not allow your prejudice or biases or preconceived ideas get in the way of who and what you think they are. And of course, humor always helps to smooth things over. So you may have to, put aside what you think or what you believe and open up to difference in someone else. All right, Libra, now that you know what's at the heart of your situation for February, head over to Vimeo to find out what you can change, what you can't, how it's all likely to turn out. I want to thank you for sharing your time and space. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the Love Indie decks featured in this reading, the link is down below.